Greetings, everybody. It might be a little noisy today. I'm actually in a hotel lobby. My family is having to have some work done on the house, and we had to take some time away in order for everything to go down. But I still had something that I felt was very valuable that we share today for Bible study. So for you guys that are on, I want you to go ahead and just say here if you can hear me. Say here if you can hear me. I'm challenged today with everybody, with everything that's going on. It's a horrific event, and we know that. And I see a lot of people are rising up as they should. And some people are quiet, which is not a good thing. But I learned long ago to not let how I feel or how my day goes be dictated by what other people do. Of course, in this time, a lot of people are going to try to say who's putting in the work and who's not, who's doing what they're supposed to do and who's not. But I'm one of those people that have learned to keep my eyes on my own paper. Because, some of us have been doing the work for a long time. We don't try to show out for anybody. We don't, try to bring attention to it. We just do what we do, and we believe that it is the right thing to do. You might see me looking back and forth because I'm streaming onto two different platforms. But one thing that I do know, each one of us individually has a responsibility to do what is best based on our morals, based on our family, and based on our livelihood. But we are stronger if we get a group of people together that believe the same and can move on the same accord, because there's power in numbers, and we know that. And I was reading something in the Bible where it said, even the whole earth moans and groans, waiting for the sons of God to appear, okay? And in that, even the nature, the Bible says even the nature itself was held captive and had to be liberated. So all of us at some point in life are going to have to be liberated. But we're going to have to define what that liberation is. We're going to have to define what liberation, what freedom means to us. I hear people talking about saying, man, we still not free. We still not free. They won't let us do this. They won't let us do that. We're still not free. But I was thinking today, and guys, even in the heat of slavery, okay? Even in the heat of slavery, Harriet Tubman was free. Laws against her, people against her, everything out of order. But Harriet Tubman was free. So that led me to believe freedom cannot be given to us by laws. Freedom cannot be given to us by social order or social acceptance. Freedoms come from your own mind and your own will. That's where freedom comes from. Freedom is from your mind and your will. And the minute you find out that you are free, your mind and your will can even change laws or social standards. It starts from how you feel about yourself first. And I'm going to tell you how I learned this, guy. I had a very disadvantaged background, even say that we were poor. And not only were we poor, I was picked on, I was bullied. And when I saw this guy who used to bully me when I was in elementary, seeing him just put a knot in my stomach, man. That one time I saw him and I ran from him, and when I threw up, I was so scared. Seeing him just made me sick to my stomach. And I walked around, even when he wasn't in the room, I feared him. I feared that I wasn't going to be able to do the things that I wanted to do. I feared that something was going to happen to me. And even when he was not around, he had power over me because I feared him. But my brother, who was one of the toughest people in the neighborhood, one of the most popular people in the neighborhood, I didn't want to tell him that I was running from this guy. And when he found out that I was running from this guy, he told me, listen, don't you ever run again. He said, when you see him, hit him in the bridge of his nose And when you hit him in the bridge of his nose, he won't be able to see, and you can beat his tail. So at that point, my brother also told me, this is the last time I'm gonna tell you this. Either you whoop him or I'm gonna whoop you. Well, I knew what my brother could do, and I wasn't gonna deal with that. My brother was crazy. So I had a strategy. I had a strategy in what I was gonna do to win that battle. And somehow when I had a strategy, my fear went away. And when my fear went away, I moved differently. I was no longer running from the bully. I was looking for the bully. Because I knew what I was going to do. When I saw him, I was going to hit him in the bridge of the nose, and it was going to be on and popping. And when I saw him, I didn't give him a chance to intimidate me the way he used to and talk noise and talk junk the way he used to. I just went and stole on him, hit him dead in the nose. And just like my brother said, he couldn't see, and I beat the crap out of him. And I realized I spent all this time afraid of a bully that I had the power to beat. Guys, sometimes I think this system that we're in right now becomes a bully to us. I know we put faces on it, we put races on it, but it's a bully. And the only thing that could take away our fear from the bully is if we have ourselves a strategy. You gotta have a strategy. Because if you don't have a plan, you always want somebody else to do something for you. If you don't have a plan, you're always going to think somebody else has to help you. But if you have a plan, you can execute your plan, and you can learn from your plan. And I think in this day and age, we need to learn more than we need to be angry and all in our emotions or have fear. And here's the reason why I say this. That event that I had with the bully changed how I viewed life. Anything that I was ever afraid of, I decided I was going to have a strategy, okay? So when I found myself out of high school, couldn't get a job, I said, you know what? I have to make something happen because I don't want to depend on everybody else. I had done that my whole life, had to live with other people. My pops was in jail, my mama was in a situation, and I had to depend on everybody. I made up my mind that I wasn't going to ever have to depend on anybody again. So I said, take whatever you can give me, let everybody take what they want, give me what's left, and watch me win with it. So I ended up getting a job. I wasn't making but like $7 an hour. But I watched and I moved and I saw how everybody operated. And I said, one day I'm going to run this place. And in 2 years, well, really a year and a half, I ended up becoming the supervisor of the whole floor. That empowered me. That let me know what was possible. And so individually, since I had that mindset, I didn't want anybody to do anything for me. I didn't want anybody to bend the rules for me. I didn't want anybody to feel like they were helping me. I was moving on my own. I was moving. I was flowing. And so even without a degree, I ended up climbing the corporate ladder. I ended up doing pretty good for myself. Even now, you know, I make a decent salary at my job. I make a decent salary with what I do on the side. And I'm in position to help my family. I'm in position to do a lot of things. But the challenge came when I got in position where my job was now to help other people. What works for you may not work for other people if they don't have the same mindset as you. And that's a challenge. What works for you may not work for other people if they don't have the same mindset as you. And if you try to give the knowledge that you've acquired, if you try to give your gift to people that's not ready for it, it makes your gift seem like a curse. It makes it seem like it's something wrong with you. And everybody is saying, this is the fight you need to fight. This is the fight you need to fight. But I'm saying to myself, that's not my fight, man. That's not my fight. I don't feel comfortable trying to find a solution from the same people that's benefiting from the problem. I just don't think, and it's a quote that I heard, that freedom is never freely given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. And so I see the things with people protesting, and protest brings about change. I see it escalating beyond control sometimes, and I understand that happened. It goes farther than where we want it to go. But I think the greatest thing we can do to empower ourselves is to put ourselves in positions of power, okay? There was a community that went through something similar as the black community. It was called the Holocaust. And when they came out of that, they developed a mantra, never again. And in that mantra, they said to themselves they were going to raise lawyers, they were going to invest, they were going to raise doctors, they were going to put themselves in positions of power where nobody can do that to them again. And I just think the more we lean towards entertainment and just having fun and partying, and waiting for something to happen and then try to act, it keeps us being reactionary. It doesn't move us into power, okay? It doesn't move us into a position of power. Now, individually, there are certain people that are in power, okay? And people will say, well, why don't you use your power to help me? Why don't you use your money to help me? Why don't you use your position, your influence to help me? Well, here's the challenge in that. Just like I said, it is hard to help people who haven't gone through what you've gone through to develop the same mindset as you. I mean, if you even read the Bible says even the little that they have will be taken away, even if you give it to them. Have you ever noticed that begging people always end up begging? Needy people always end up in need? Because the mindset, the beggar and the billionaire have the same 24 hours in a day. Is the billionaire does something different with their time. So it is about what you do with your time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. And if you spend your time just having fun, just kicking it, when things start to happen, you probably won't have any power, you probably won't have any resources, and you probably want to get something from somebody else. But just like the ant and the grasshopper, when things are not going well, you got to be stacking up your knowledge. You got to be stacking up your paper. And the biggest thing, you have to start developing relationships. Relationships are currency, guys. Relationships are like currency. If you're around a bunch of begging people, when times get hard, all they're going to do is try to see who can beg the most. Who is the biggest beggar? But when you're in a position where you bring something to the relationship and they bring something to the relationship, now you have a symbiotic relationship where you can empower each other. So not only you have to be in the mindset of moving into power and moving into wealth, the people connected to you have to be in the mindset of moving into power and moving into wealth. Or when times get hard, everybody's going to say, we need somebody to help us. You should have somebody in your circle that can get their hands on everything you need. I'm telling you guys, I know people in the medical field that I can call at any time. Hey, what's going on with this COVID stuff, man? Give me some insight. I know people in the legal field. When something's going on, hey, man, this is what happened. Can you give me some insight? Can you do a will for my family? Or this problem is going on. Can you connect me with somebody? I know somebody that's in the investing business. That's why when I do my plays and productions, I have people that can sponsor my events. And it's not that it's people who are famous and have big names. It's some people right next to you are in great position. And if you do what you do well enough, they'll be willing to invest into you because they know what they invest into you, they're going to get back. When I started doing events, I haven't had a problem getting sponsors, guys, because I developed relationships over the years. It's not that my ideas are so good. They just know that I'm a hard worker. They know it's going to be some type of return on the investment, or they believe in me. They like me. And the more you build relationships, the better things are for you. Now, yes, absolutely. There are unfortunate situations like what just happened. I don't think it is clear. It was a racist police officer. It was clear that it was murder. I don't even know. This should be an open and shut case when it comes. They say second degree murder. I think it should be first, but I'm not a lawyer. But that's open and shut. But you cannot pick the worst case scenario and act like the whole world is going to be that for you. Here's something that a lot of people may not know, man. My brother got shot up right in front of our grandmother's house. Got killed. They still haven't arrested this killer. Still haven't. And matter of fact, the people in the neighborhood didn't want to snitch. They knew who killed my brother and nobody wanted to say a word. What do you think that did to me? Did it make me mad at the world? No, it's unfortunate. And I think about it often. And even another brother, he got jumped on by a group of guys and they beat him down so bad, he was in a coma for 7 days and now has brain damage. He don't even know who he is half the time. Everybody know who did it, but nobody would testify in court. They still have not arrested the people that did that to my brother, okay? But do it make me hate all black people? Do it make me hate all the people in the neighborhood? Matter of fact, I got one brother, he lost his leg in a motorcycle accident running from the police, but it wasn't even the police that did it. It's one of his partners that ran over him and kept going and left him in the street to die. Fortunately, he lived, but when he got to the hospital, they had to amputate his leg. Okay, and this is right in my neighborhood, so tragedy happens, guys. But you cannot change what happens, but you can change how you respond to it. And if you respond emotionally, you take away the power that you have. You have to be able to talk in different rooms. Have yourself a strategy. Know how you're going to deal with things. Know how you're going to deal with people. Because emotions pass over, but strategy lasts, baby. You can look at that thing, see what I did right, see what I did wrong, see what I need to learn, see what I need to change, see what I can do to grow. And it's easy to do that individually, but it's harder to do it as a group. It's harder to do it as a group because everybody is not built the same. You got some people that all they want is money. You got some people that all they want is fame, all they want is popularity. And you're saying you're working on the same cause, but when you have different people with different agendas, it slows your cause down. Especially when you get into a setting like a church, okay, guys? Because some people want to just pray about the problem. Some people want to say, whatever happened is God will. No, I believe I am the Son of God. I believe that I have the ability to create the life that I want to live. I believe he gave that power inside of me. I believe the desire, the passion that he gave me is going to fuel me to accomplish what he put me here to do. So I don't see any people as the opposition. Things happen in life, but I don't see any people as the opposition. What I see is people that are in between what I want and what I'm trying to get, and I'm going to find a way to defeat it. That's my mindset. That's my mindset. And the only time I've even had trouble with that particular mindset, guys, the only time I had trouble with that particular mindset is when I was trying to pull people with me that weren't prepared to go. When I was trying to pull people with me because you can do something so well that people think is easy. And once they get in and see how hard it is, man, they'll leave you hanging. And you got to keep trying to convince them and tell them, oh, man, please, try one more time. And you spend so much energy trying to convince the people that are in your circle that you don't have the energy to fight the fight that you need to fight. You will never be free until you free yourself in your mind. Harriet Tubman was in a worse situation than all of us, but she was free. She was so free that she was able to free others. And if you read the history books, she worked with black people, she worked with French people, she worked with people from India, she worked with Europeans, she worked with everybody. Because she was free. She was not bound to any group. She was not bound to anything outside of what she had to do. And they could change all the laws they want to, and some people still gonna be locked up in their mind. And your mind and your will is your strength. If you don't have the will to fight through obstacles, yeah, I wish they would give anybody an NBA contract. I have one. But no, you got to go through some stuff. Even in the NBA, you got to go through politics. You got to go through competition. You got to go through people trying to get in your way. But only a few make it because those are the ones who have the mind and the will to do it. It's the same way in life, guys. Opposition is going to come. Nothing is going to be easy. You're going to get opposition from all kind of races, all kind of sects and groups. You're going to get opposition. I mean, look, guys, think about it. Look at the fraternities and sororities. They don't let just anybody in. They let people in that they feel operates in their organization, and they help the people in their organization. Are any jobs available? No, but I'm a Kappa. Oh, yes, we have an opening for you. So people who are like, they stick together and work together. It happens. If you're a fraternity or sorority, you look out for your frat, you look out for your bros, you look out for your sisters. It's people in the world, they form groups and look out for each other. But those of us who don't run in groups, I can hang with anybody, but I hang with nobody. But once I made up my mind, whatever I'm trying to do is going to happen. It may take some time, I may struggle, I may stumble, but it's going to happen. Because that is the mindset you have to have if you're going to make it in this world. You will never be free until you are free in your mind. You have to come into agreement with who God created you to be and say, I'm not going to stop till I get it. We see all the scriptures. I'm not going to leave till you bless me. If I can only touch the hem of his garment. All of this stuff has been based off perseverance. You cannot run or give up at the first sign of opposition, or somebody don't like you, or somebody is against you, or somebody did something wrong. Wrong stuff is always happening. I have a brother who's dead because something happened. I have a brother who has brain damage because something happened. I have a brother that lost his leg in a motorcycle accident because something happened. I got my other two brothers in jail right now. Right as we speak, my other two brothers in jail. Yes, that's the house I grew up in. Those are people I grew up around. The only thing difference between them and me was the mindset. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I don't care what the situation is. Even in my losses, guys, I don't always win. I lose. But even when I lose, I say I'm going to win. Just because you knock me down, I'll get up. I never forget. I went to Southside High School. I never forget. It's this one dude, man. He beat me up one time, and I think that's the worst thing he could have ever did in his life, because every time I saw him, we were dropping our books and we were going at it. He probably beat me up about 6, 7 times. I think that last time he just said, this dude ain't going nowhere. He let me beat him up because I'm coming back. I'm coming back. That's your attitude in life. You have to keep coming back. Nothing can stop you. You have to keep coming back. Didn't get the job, I'm coming back. Didn't get the promotion, I'm coming back. Don't have the money yet, I'm coming back. You have to have the mindset, I'm coming back. I know it's easy to say who got the deck stacked against you, because it does. Man, I know people that are connected, they'll help each other in a heartbeat. They ain't gonna help me, but hey, so what? You got people who they'll invite people out and stay connected, and they have this silent clique in which they operate in, and they only let certain people in it. You think I care? I don't care. I don't care. I have made up my mind that whatever it is I'm going to do, I'm going to do. That's the mindset you have to have. You may stumble, you may fall, but you gotta say, I'm gonna finish this thing. But see, that's when you're free in your mind. And I don't care what you've been delivered from. You could be delivered from drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, pornography, whatever you've been delivered from, you ain't gonna be free until you get delivered from the opinions of people. Because the people that's doing stuff is the people that ain't doing nothing, sitting around talking about you. I wonder what they doing now. They trying again. You better believe it. I'm going to be 80, still up in here doing what I'm doing. I'm going to be the greatest 80-year-old motivational speaker the world has ever seen, because it has gotten me in rooms with great men. It has opened doors for me. It has created revenue for me. And people say, well, I don't believe in motivation. Well, I don't care. If you don't believe in taking baths, I'm still going to take one, because I know I got to take a bath every day. So I got to be motivated every day. So you got to get free from the opinions of others. You got to finish what you start, okay? And you got to get around people that understand that we're going to struggle, we're going to stumble. You got to be around people that's not going to point out all your flaws and remind you of all your failures and remind you of who didn't do this and who didn't do that. You got to get around people that understand. All of these people that's millionaires and billionaires, you know how many times they fail? You know how many times they filed bankruptcy? You know how many times stuff went wrong? But when you're free in your mind, you locked in. I don't care how many times they tackle me. If you give me the ball next time, I'm going for the end zone just as hard. I'm going to keep on going until I get there. I might get 3 yards here, 2 yards there, may lose 3 yards here, but sooner or later I'm getting in that end zone. That's how you got to look at life. That's how you got to look at life. That's the mindset that changes everything, guys. You got to get free in your mind. It's a bunch of cliques around here. They telling you what to believe, telling you what to be mad at. I can't walk around mad at the world. I gotta think, man. I'm too creative. I create from a happy, a positive place. So I have to fight to remain positive. I can't walk around mad at everybody. You know what? I'm not gonna be mad at you, but if I don't fool with you, I don't fool with you. I'm gonna speak to you, I'm gonna shake your hand. But if I don't fool with you, I don't fool with you. I'm not gonna try to get you. I'm not gonna, if somebody can ask me about you, I'm not gonna say nothing bad. I'm like, oh yeah, he cool, you know. But I'm not gonna sit up and be mad at everybody, hold grudges, and let people tell me how I'm supposed to be black. I've been black 48 years. I've probably been through more struggles with racism than them, more challenging them, but I don't look at it, whether it's racism, whether it's classism, whether it's bullies, whether it's selfishness, I'm gonna find a way to win. You just an evil person in my way, and good is gonna win every time. Greater is he that is in me than anything that is in the world. You can categorize it whatever you want to. It is evil, and good beats evil every time. But you'll mess up if you let them put the evil inside of them and put it in you. That's where you mess up at. No, I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to stay hopeful. I'm going to stay believing. I'm going to stay trusting. You got to get free in your mind. You got to believe that it's possible. If you have to take one step at a time, you got to believe that it's possible. Don't let all this stuff you're seeing on the internet and on Facebook make you mad and drain your energy and have you angry with the world. You can't afford to be angry. You got to think. You got to strategize. You need allies. You need friends. You need friends in high places. You need friends with connections. If you and all your partners, yeah, we from the same hood, we all we got. If you all you got, you ain't going nowhere. You got to get some friends outside of your group, outside of your clique. You got to get some friends. I got friends that talk about going to vacation in Cabo. Man, I ain't never been to Cabo. I ain't even know Cabo exists, but I love to sit down and let them talk about Cabo. Really? The sand look like that in Cabo? The sun is like that in Cabo? Oh, man, this is awesome. I want to talk to some people that's experienced some stuff I ain't never seen before. I don't want to talk to everybody. All we got to talk about is the haves and have-nots and who was down in front of the liquor store last week. Man, y'all can keep that. If that's being black, I'm going to create my own thing that I am. No, I want to empower people, but I found out you cannot empower people that are intent and dedicated to being a victim. I always look for somebody to blame. They won't let us do this. They won't let us do that. I always fighting a fight outside of them. The fight is in your mind. The fight is in who you believe you are. The fight is in what you believe you can do. If you strong enough in your mind, if somebody don't help you, good. Wait till I get through. You gonna wish you invested in me. You gonna wish you helped me. You gonna wish you were part of what I'm doing. Go ahead and talk about me. Go ahead and laugh at me. Try to stop me. You gonna get trampled on because I'm coming. I'm coming. You better believe I'm coming. And ain't nobody gonna stop it because I'm free in my mind. My encouragement to you today, the reason Harriet Tubman was able to do what she did when slavery was at its apex is because she was free in her mind. If you're free in your mind, it don't care what the laws are. It don't care who's against you. None of that matters. You get the right allies. You got the plan. You got the strategy. Do what is inside of you because you are free to eat of any tree in the garden. But don't eat from the fruit that tell you something other than what God said. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't eat from the tree that try to tell you a truth that does not agree with God. You free to eat whatever you want. Just don't eat that one that tell you can't be what God said you can be. You free. You free. That is my message for you today. You are free. Now go and act like it. You wonder what scripture I came from when I was talking about that? I came from Romans chapter 8, starting at verse 18, and went all the way down to verse 25. I need you to understand that we are the sons of God, and the world is moaning and groaning and waiting on us to become what we are supposed to become. And I need you to do it right now. You free. So just go ahead and start acting like it. All right?